Hey everyone, this is John Michael Swift, and welcome back to my looping series. Today I want to talk about a concept I call loop pivoting, and another kind of theoretical concept called loop bias. So this is kind of a concept I came up with on my own, but it really is, I think, important in looping performance because it's got to do with like what can you play around with in your loops. It's really trying to figure out, all right, if your loop is like this, what else can you change in the music and have it still work? And it's really important because in looping, you start playing stuff and it repeats a gajillion times. And in order to keep the music interesting, lots of things have to change. And our button pushing abilities and our fingers and our skills can do limited things. So you got to figure out what is possible given the resources you have, and figure out kind of what you can afford to change around. So what is this concept of loop bias? It's basically saying like, okay, how much information is there in your loop and what does that mean that you kind of can't do around it? And generally it's like the more information there is in your loop, the more stuff there is, the less you can change. Just think of it like if there's like a backing track playing. Pretty much the only thing you can do is solo over the backing track. You can't do much else because all the other space is taken up by other stuff. So if you have a really simple loop that doesn't have even certain whole categories of information, like it doesn't have any pitch or it doesn't have any rhythm, well, then those whole areas are totally open still. So some of the things we're going to look at are, does a loop have tonal information, pitch information? Does it have rhythmic information? Does it have timbral information? Does it have register information? And does it have like volume? So all of those things matter, and let's look at some examples. So I'm going to play a brief excerpt from a song I wrote called The Dark Hug of Time. It's inspired by Indian music, so it has this drone in it, and the drone has no rhythmic information in it. It's just random notes. So you're going to see, rhythmically, I can do a lot with it. You're going to see. Here we go. So if I want to add something rhythmic, I can do so without any prompting. Yeah, so you see I can change to a rhythmic frame pretty easily if I want to in that. Another example would be what if your loop has only rhythm information but no pitch? So that would be like a beatbox loop. And now I'll use an example from another mashup I do with Paraformer called Chameleon Brain / Stay With You / Shadows, I think. Yeah, those are the names. Here we go. So what you see in that is I use two different sort of like backing loops next to the beatboxing loop, and it really didn't affect much of anything. I can still kind of do different things in different keys, but again, the beatbox carries no tonal information, so I can play in any key with it, and I'm kind of pivoting around it in an unlimited way in that sense. Now I'm going to take another example from a song called Clouds, which is really just based on one very single loop, which is very, very simple. And you're going to see that both because of the register and because of the fact that there's not a lot going on in it, I can actually put a lot of different stuff around it. So I'll probably change the beatbox and the bass line around this loop. And you'll see I can reharmonize it because it's in such a high register that I can change the bass and it's not going to have any effects on it. And if I want to change the rhythm as well, I can do that too. And over the course of the song, both of those things will change a lot. So as you can see, there's all these different elements in the music that can change, but depending on what kind of loops are there, that really depends on what you can alter. But there's just a couple of different characteristics that you can consider. Like the main thing I want to provoke thought on is just using simpler loops. It's thinking to yourself, okay, if this loop is quieter, if it doesn't have as many notes in it, if it doesn't have as much rhythm in it, that lets you change more things, that lets you remix more elements. We will get into remixing and some other kind of more advanced. There's another technique I call canon looping, which will really let you pivot a lot. We will get into some of that stuff in later videos, but for now, I just want to just leave you with that thought that the less you have in the loops, the more you can change. And just play with that idea a little bit. Yeah, thanks for sticking with the series, and hope to see you in another video pretty soon. Catch you later. Bye-bye.